Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are here at the beginning of the week with another Hunter x Hunter review. We're covering episodes 79, 80, and 81. Before we actually kick off the review, I do want to talk to you guys about something. I want to say thank you to one of my subscribers, Rock. You told me about how big a deal Kite actually is. It really sucks that they didn't put that in this version of the series. Apparently, for anyone who doesn't know, in the 1999 series, that scene where Kite saved Gon from the bear, it turns out that Kite actually knew who Gon was, and he was the one who told Gon that his father was a hunter, and he actually gave Gon Jean's hunter license, and that's what led to Gon becoming a hunter and going on his whole journey to find his father. So Kite's actually a huge deal to Gon, and they really super downplayed it in this series, which kind of sucks. But moving on, let's jump back into the series. So where we last left off in the Chimera Ant arc, Gon and company were on their way to the, I'm never gonna get this right, Matinee Union? The Matinee Union, I think it's how they said it. They go into the NGO. And the Chimera Ants have been hunting humans left and right to feed the queen as she's trying to make the king. And honestly, these episodes have gotten, let's just say there's some stuff that was so dark that I couldn't take pictures of it because I don't want to get my video demonetized. But I did not expect it to be this bad. Like, I knew this arc was dark, but god damn. So episode 79 kicks off with Gon and company arriving at the embassy for the NGO. It's two giant trees, and the two giant trees have technology in them. Like, they're using computers. They do a bunch of stuff to be allowed access into the country. We get a shot of the two hunter. Well, Ponzu's not really a hunter, but you guys remember Ponzu and Poco from season 1? They're into the NGO and they're tracking the Chimera Ants. Turns out they were in contact with a bunch of other hunters who were already there. We see all the Chimera Ants gathered together. They're still talking about the quota they have to meet. Turns out that some of them are getting turned on to hunting humans for fun. And it's causing a lot of problems because their individuality is causing their community to come apart, which is, not good. The only one that's really trying to keep everything together, keep everything working the way it's supposed to, is the one that's part bird. His name's Colt. He's probably the only one whose name I've gotten down so far. It turns out that one of the squad leaders, named Yunju, this big centaur-looking dude, has really gotten a feel for killing humans, and he actually wants to go after all the humans that have been attacking the Chimera Ants, because there's apparently a group of humans who have guns in the NGL, even though the NGL doesn't allow firearms into their country. All our characters get in some new outfits because they can only wear all natural clothes. This is like a world full of vegans. They have to get searched. They have to go through an interrogation, X-rays, ultrasounds. Like, they have to make sure there's no metal in their body, no plastic in their body. They can't bring anything on them. Like, it's crazy. It turns out that they explain that they've had people smuggle devices up their butts. They've had people, animals, sneaking stuff on. Like, it's crazy. As soon as they get in, they grab some horses and they start searching villages. I had to get this picture of Killua flexing because he does not need to ride a horse like that. But it jumps back over to Poco and Ponzu's group, and they start getting attacked by the lesser Chimera Ants. And as soon as they do, we get to see Poco's Nen ability. I would say he's a conjurer, but I don't think so because it doesn't look like he's making a solid object. It looks more like he's transmuting his aura into a bow and arrow. And the arrow hits them in the head, pierces their head, and then lights their head on fire from the inside. So it immediately kills them. Pretty cool. Now, with all this going on, the Chimera Ants are still attacking humans and kidnapping humans. But some of them are like I said, they've gotten really turned on by the idea of killing humans. This guy in particular actually decided to start using guns on them. And you literally just watch him mowing down humans with their own guns and just describing how fun it is. So that first episode actually ends with Yunju and his 3 his two lackeys, basically finding where all of the underground people are. And when I mean underground, I don't mean actually underground. I mean like they have their own little underground network. They're the ones who've been manufacturing guns. They're also apparently the ones who've been manufacturing the drugs that are getting sold worldwide out of the NGO. And they just go in and slaughter everybody. The episode ends with them actually about to find the king of the NGO. The next episode starts off, and honestly, it was kind of boring. It felt like a lot of filler, but I got a feeling it's going to be something absolutely silly. We get an entire backstory on Jiro, the king of the NGO, and you basically see that he was abused, he was used, and eventually he just snaps. He's actually the one who built the NGO from the ground up. He made his own country. He rose his own empire, killed his father apparently. But I'm not sure why they gave us a whole story on him. I'm assuming, this is my assumption, I have no idea if this is actually a thing, that when he gets eaten by the queen, because we've seen Colt still retain memories of his mother, or kind of. He only hesitated, I'm assuming because it was his mom. But we've seen something like that happen with Colt, and something that I'm going to talk about in a little bit also happened with Colt. But I'm guessing that the traits that made this man, the king that he is, are possibly going to get transferred to the Chimera King. The determination, the willpower, the hatred for humanity. It's all things I think, especially with the way they talked about his hatred for humanity, I think that those are things that could definitely be transferred to the king. So after the backstory, we go into more of the episode, and again, it's just more of the Chimerians attacking and taking humans. We actually get to see this. Poco's little group are freaking out because they saw the slaughter that was going on with all of the Chimerians and the humans, and they realize that the Chimerians are way too much for them to handle, so they try to get out. And as soon as they try to leave, this guy gets his head taken off by this giant Chimera ant behind him. And he gets happened so fast that he actually sees his body slump over and sees the monster before he actually dies. Now, here's where things got a little crazy, and I kind of lacked on the pictures. Poco immediately kills this thing with one of his arrows, and as soon as he kills it, a spider Chimera ant comes crawling super fast up the wall, and it has the face of a human. So Poco, Ponzu, and the other person that's with him, who I don't think they really said his name. If they didn't, it didn't matter. He was super minor. They start freaking out because he has the face of a human. Poco uses a different color arrow, an orange one, and it's supposed to be as fast as arrow, and this thing just snatches out the air. Mind you, they mentioned in the beginning, when they were examining the corpses of the ones he killed in the previous episode, that they couldn't see the projectiles. But this one apparently could. He can actually see Poco's entire aura. So he knew he was going to be something special. Poco's friend tries to run away. This thing grabs him up with some web, grabs him, and literally bites his head off. And it just shows his bloody stump. It's nasty. Now, while he's holding that, Poco tries to shoot another arrow at him because he's pissed that he just killed his friend. He catches the other arrow, so he's got 4 legs, 4 arms. He's holding the dude, holding the 2 arrows. Poco starts beating the shit out of him, and right when Poco's about to shoot him in the head, he gets stabbed in the back by one of the other Chimerians, one that looks kind of like a scorpion. She poisons him and knocks him out, realizing that with that much life energy, he's worth about the nutritional value of 1,000 normal humans. Ponzu bolts. She manages to get away while they're taking them. So a couple of things to take away from this scene is, first off, the Chimerians are getting a feel for not only killing humans but eating them. It's all supposed to be nutrition for the queen. It's not like them eating humans is going to help them or help the next generation, but they don't care. They're doing what they want. Ponzu runs. She writes a bunch of notes and sends them off with her bees to the hunters with the strongest net. And as she's running, she's trying to get to the border. She makes it out of the forest just to get shot by that same Chimerian we saw shooting people before. Except this dude shoots her, she dies. And he walks up and just pumps her full with an entire clip of bullets. And you just see her body just twitching as she's getting shot. And then after he finally has his fun shooting her corpse, he squats down and eats her. It was violent, it was dark, and it was kind of crazy. It jumps over to Kite getting the message that she apparently wrote in her blood. And Kite's like, we gotta go. These horses are taking too long. He sends his friends back to the board to meet up with everybody else and to tell the Hunter Association what's going on. We see Kilo and Gon stretching, and all three of them just take off at super speed, running down. And he tells them, if you guys can't keep up, I'm leaving you behind. The first thing they see is they find Ponzu, what looks like Ponzu's remains, her torn clothes, bloodied up, bullet casings everywhere. This is the darkest picture I could get. And the episode ends with Kite piecing together what's going on. He assumes, they're gathering more food for the queen, that they're attacking humans, that they're learning about their weapons, and it's pretty much a wrap after that. The next episode starts with Colt talking to the other Chimera ants about gathering more food for the queen. The queen's even more hungry now. She wants 100 humans a day. And they're trying to figure out how they're going to do that. They were struggling just to get 50 a day. Well, this girl that we see from the back here is actually the one that caught Popo. She's the one with the scorpion tail. And she explains to them how she found a rare human with the life energy of 1,000 other humans. And they start calling them rares. They basically superpowered humans, and that's what they start aiming for. Rather than going for 100 a day, they're going to get one of these every 10 days.
Sorry guys, Eddie Zafikel here. I missed one really important thing. I wanted to make sure I threw this in here. This was me after rewatching my own recording. I realized I missed one very important thing. During the point where Colt is trying to figure out what's going on with everybody and why everybody's, kind of rebelling because of their individuality, he is talking to the penguin that we met in the last episode about, reminding him that this is all for the queen. Their job is to serve the queen, to feed the queen. And they're talking about what if these people, these military, these humans realize that their weakest point is the queen. Colt ends up saying, I'll do anything to protect Reyna. Now, it looked like he was thinking this, but apparently he said it out loud. Penguin Chimera heard it and said, who's Reyna? And he's just like, I don't know what you were talking about. I didn't say that. I was just saying we need to protect the queen. Reyna was the name of his little sister when he was still a human. I'm guessing that this Chimera is based off the little boy Kurt that we met a couple episodes ago that got devoured first. It was him and his sister were the first two humans eaten. So that was why I made the point about Jiro and why they gave us his whole backstory, because some of his traits are probably going to be passed down to somebody, and since he was a king, it would make sense for them to get passed down to the king. But we'll have to keep watching to find out. Back to the review. Colt finds out that one of his soldiers is going rogue and doing whatever the hell he wants. We saw this guy earlier attacking humans and going to eat one, and Colt scolded him. But now he's over here just eating horses. This was already... them going after humans is one thing that happens in anime all the time, but this guy's going after animals. So I was just... Kite, Gon, Killua arrive at the village. They see nobody there because everybody's gone or dead. Gon says he smells something nasty. And they follow the scent and they find the stable where this guy was eating them. Except the horses are gone and so is he. They keep going off into the woods and they see probably the darkest scene I've seen in the episodes I've watched so far. Probably all the episodes of Hunter x Hunter. This guy skewered 3 horses on trees and just left them there out in the open. I wanted to take a picture of the scene, but honestly, it just... Well, even when I was just first watching it, it just gave me chills at how graphic the scene was. I was honestly surprised that they put that into an anime. They could have easily just cut off part of it so you know what was going on without actually showing it, but they show that shit out in its full. The Chimera Ant attacks them, tells them to stay away from his prey. Turns out the reason he did that is because certain birds do that, and he is part bird, he's part bird, part rabbit. He attacks them and immediately knocks Gon and Killua away. Kite manages to dodge without even trying. Gon and Killua freak out for a second because they're shaking from the force of this guy's hit. My guess is they didn't get to use Ko before he hit them. But we get to see Kite flex just a little bit. He flexes his aura and he's getting ready to fight.
basically teleports behind the dude and just chills. I thought Kai was gonna just annihilate him, but he basically tells Gon and Killua, "You take him on. If you can't beat him, you might as well head back now because you're just gonna be in my way." So Gon and Killua get a little irritated with him, treating them like kids, but they flex a little bit and they get ready to fight. And they go kind of ham. The Chimera freaks out because he realizes how much stronger they got immediately. And as they're fighting him, Killua jumps in the air and he's like, "This is the perfect time to try something new." And he does this. And he literally hits this dude with a lightning bolt. And stuns him just long enough for Gon to hit him with his Jajaken. And he goes flying into the sky. And out of the sky, Colt comes out, because Colt was there the whole time watching, because he was supposed to go and discipline this guy. And he grabs him and takes him away. He screams so loud, it was like watching Uvogin scream. But he screams at them, telling them that he's going to make them pay for what they did to him, and he's going to devour them. The next scene we see is him curled over in pain in the nest, still in so much damage that he's just can barely hand on, and all he wants to do is kill them and eat them. Colt said, "If you want to kill them, that's fine, but they have so much nutritional value, they have to be for the queen." And they get into a little argument right there, and he finds out that all of the other Chimerians have started killing for sport and eating humans on their own. So he starts going to the other commanders and talking to them about it. We meet this guy who we haven't seen before, and they start talking about it, and Colt basically gives them the okay to hunt. But if they would come across any rares, they have to be for the queen. As soon as Colt leaves, this guy's like, "I can't believe he trusted me at my word. I don't give a shit about the queen. I want to know what these rares taste like." It cuts back over to Gon and Killua for the end of the episode. Gon, Killua, and Kite find the dead bodies of all the members of the underground organization, and they end up finding the hideout still lit up. Yunju, the centaur-looking Chimera that we met earlier, basically said that he was going to make that his fortress. So he's kind of trying to do his own thing separate from the other Chimerians. These episodes were extremely graphic and extremely dark, and there was a lot of death. The only part that really I didn't like was the backstory on Jiro, because I thought there was going to be something epic to happen with him and the Chimerians, but all we see is his bloodied up chair. And even Yunju's just like, "I should have just ate that guy," but no, they gave him to the queen. So I'm guessing that's something significant. If we're going to get more scenes like that, I'm both excited and terrified for what we have in store later. Because this arc has been... I'm only 6 episodes in, and it's just... What's a good comparison for it? I don't know. I can't think of anything that's like... Any anime I've watched that's like that dark. Maybe another. And this was a shonen, so it's just like... It wasn't what I expected. This has been catching me completely off guard. Don't get me wrong, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I'm very invested into it, and I can't wait to watch more. But... I wasn't ready, y'all. Anyway, that's the end of this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. I am trying to push through these as fast as possible, and I'm also trying to get up to 300 subscribers. If you guys enjoy my content, I would really appreciate the support. Well, that's it, guys, and I will catch you on the next video. Later.